Hello and welcome back to the Chill Doing the Couch. I'm Hector, and tonight I'm talking to Geoffrey Riberry. He's the drummer for Decasia, which is a band from Paris that plays a very synth rock, think very retro, very 70s. So how are you today, sir?
I'm fine, great, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, and I really, I gotta say that listening to your new album, An Endless Feast for Hyenas, I like that it's very, there's so much music now that sounds so modern, so
Yeah,
many like electronics, and listening to something that sounds like straight from the 70s, like it has like a 70s, 60s influence, like it's a fresh of breath breath air for me at least. How did I know that the band formed a few years ago, and we before offline we were talking a little bit. So how you were telling me that you guys met in school. Were you all like fans of like that 70s type of psychedelic rock?
well, yeah, kind of. So we met when we were about like 19 years old, 20 years old in a design school in Nantes. And we were both kind of that we were listening to like kind of the old rock stuff from like the 70s till the grunge area. So we were basically listening to that kind of rock and also lots of different stuff. And I think our album sounds like a bit retro because we record everything live on tape, so everything is kind of raw.
Yeah,
And
very old school.
we didn't put too much effect or mix into it. We just wanted to keep it like as it was, like three guys playing loud in a barn, and we keep it like that.
Yeah, no, I like it because that's the old school mentality, where people used to do everything analog on tape. And yeah, I love the sound of it. I think, it's great. I obviously listened to your EP. What's the name of the EP? Now it escapes me. The Lord is Gone EP.
Yeah.
And it's really good. But how would you categorize, like the evolution from The Lord is Gone to the new album that's going to drop on April 5th?
Yeah, well, the Lord is Gone was actually our second EP. We did the first EP with the first bass player was Kevin. He's the one of the really good friend of us. Mm-hmm. And we recorded the first EP in our house when we were still students in Nantes. So it was basically kind of the same thing. Like we were playing in the living room, like really loud, and we recorded this live. And for The Lord is Gone, it was the first time we worked with Fabien, that we were also in school together. And we were, it was the three songs in The Lord is Gone was still here around the first EP, but not really finished. And those sketches evolve in super long tracks. Like we have two tracks that are 10 minutes long.
Yeah, they're like 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, and the last one is like 15 minutes long. So it's very like proggy and stoner and doom stuff. So everything is it's really mixed, You have different atmosphere during the song. Or it's being really loud, you got like acoustic stuff in the middle. So it was a really nice exercise for us and quite hard to pull this off in the studio because it was live. So we have to make like really one take and have it proper and nice and clean, And after we did The Lord is Gone, we thought, all right, like we did those like super massive track that we really like, but in live and in studio and as a composer, because we composed the song every like together. Nobody's like is coming with like a really good idea or structure of a song. It's all jammed and we speak together and compose together. So we thought, all right, maybe let's try to make the opposite and try to make shorter songs, bit fast, and maybe lots of them, So each time we try to make an album, we try to set different rules and say, all right, what kind of song didn't do yet? And try to go in that direction to be like non-stop evolution,
Yeah. Well, on the new album that I had the privilege to listen to, there's shorter songs, but there's also medium songs like 6 to 8 minutes. You really are not like losing that element that you had with your first EPs, but I really obviously like the retro feel. So you were saying that about influences, that you're influenced by 70s, but if I correct me if I heard correctly, but I thought you said grunge too, like
Yeah,
90s,
we
90s
are
grunge.
really massive. Maxim and I are really massive grunge fans. We really like Alice in Chains, Jeff Buckley also, or Soundgarden, or Melvin, stuff like that. So we try to put some of those influence, in our songs as well.
Well, if you think about it, those bands took from the 70s as well, so they just made it a bit more modern. So why did you pick I'm gonna try to see if I can say the name of the song correctly, Horse Bailey's Ode, as the first single?
Well, because it was, for us, it was the good track to like for transition between The Lord Is Gone and our album, because it was kind of massive, like we used to do in The Lord Is Gone, and not too different. And then for the two next singles, we try to introduce new atmosphere, new stuff that we didn't like put in any songs before. So for us, that song was kind of the nice transition song, to
like the bridge, if you will, because it sounds more like that. So ease fans into the new album. And I know that today you just dropped the third single, Sunrise, which is it's really like a really jam track. What is Sunrise about, in the themes?
The things is it's taking off the mythologies, so from Icarus. So it's from his story. So basically we try to incorporate like to take those kind of stories that everybody knows from mythologies and try to take the basic metaphors of those songs or the main topics and try to put it in a modern way. So this song is basically about Icarus that tried to fly into the sun,
Okay, and he gets burned, obviously, because of the sun. So this album, is it like a concept album, or like do the songs connect, or not really?
Well, not that much, because the themes, as I said before, is quite always kind of like taken from stories that everybody knows. And during the album, we try to make interludes. So in between songs that will take previous themes that you already heard before, but we played it in like a more softer way, or in a different way. So like for example, like the Doors made like studio version of like different songs, and we try to take that and put it through the album. So in between songs, you're gonna have like 3 interludes, and it will be themes that from for example, the first song or the last song, and it will just make a link in between songs and soft and quiet stuff. Between like heavy stuff.
Everything flows together, and I'm glad you mentioned the Doors, because when I was listening to the album, it's like it's not that you sound exactly like the Doors, because you have your own thing, but it seems like you are very heavy influenced by the Doors.
Well, as a drummer, I really like those kind of drummer that are really influenced by jazz, like Bill Ward or John Densmore from the Doors. So I try to put that into my playing a bit. So it's like heavy in a way, and also a bit soft and elegant, like jazz can be.
Yeah.
And well, I'm happy that you mentioned that, because I really like the composition also of the songs. We also do like the Doors, like to make the last track really, really big and really nice, like they always did in all their albums,
Yeah, they always had the long song at the end.
The last song is always super massive and a masterpiece, and each album of the Doors is like that, So we try to also mimic that.
So where you were working on this album, where did you record it? And I really like it that, like you were mentioning before, it sounds like the sound of 3 people jamming together in a room and just, like feeding off each other. And I think that's something that's lost in music now because everyone relies on technology. But that's something that I really enjoyed about your band and listening to this album, because it took me back like to that like music that you can appreciate, because it doesn't need to sound like perfect. It has feeling.
Yeah, you're right. Well, for the first EP, well, like as I said, we recorded in the living room, and it was really nice for us because we had a lot of times, and really it was like a cool vibe because we were at our home, we were together, and we could have time to finish the song, listen it back, talk about it without caring about the time and the money that you can spend in the studio, because the studio now is really expensive. For the second EP, The Lord Is Gone, we went to a really famous studio in France. It cost us quite a lot, but we were really happy about the sound because it was really like professional stuff, But it was kind of stressing because we had 3 days in the studio to record those three massive songs. So we were in a hurry, to be able to finish the EP. And we didn't want to have this kind of stress because you're supposed to be relaxed and be in a good mood, to be able to record the best song you can, together. So we decided this time to go back to our roots, to be in our place and take times for it. So we went to my parents' barn in the middle of France, in Auvergne. It's really like in the middle of France. There is nothing around, just Nantes.
Where in France were you?
In Auvergne, it's in middle of France.
Oh, nice.
You know the brand Volvic, the water.
Okay.
There's it's near Volvic.
Yeah.
And my parents are from that area in France, and we were lucky enough to have a barn there. So we went there and we grabbed our song engineer Thomas, that we work with for the previous EP, The Lord Is Gone. He made the mix of The Lord Is Gone, and we met during that period, and he came with us for 10 days, and we were able to finish some songs, try to experiment in the studio, and record this album together.
Okay. So the album took 10 days to record.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm sure you already like had practiced the songs like over and over again, so when you get to the recording, but yeah, it's pretty impressive that you put this in 10 days. My favorite song is the second single, Skeleton Void. I think it's a really fun song. What is that song about?
It's really fun to play. Well, this song is about normally it was called Skeleton Key. So the skeleton key is the key that you can use to open every door. And this song is about a guy who is lost in space and cannot find his home bag. Oh,
that sounds very futuristic, like a book. But I thought it was a really fun song, and I gotta talk. We need to talk about the artwork for this. I'm gonna show it here quickly because I love the artwork. So who worked on? I love the colors, by the way.
Thanks a lot.
Who worked on this artwork for you guys?
Well, we do everything ourselves. So this artwork is made by us. So for The Lord Is Gone, we made like a big mock-up of like a paper and cardboard stuff, like a theater scene. And for this one, we made everything. It's a real photo, obviously, a big like cheated in Photoshop because the color are a bit like saturated. So everything is a bit pumped up, and we have the idea of making masks out of like a bit cheap materials, and we wanted the people to see that everything is made by hand and it's a bit cheap, So it's made out of cardboard, tissue that we found, and stuff like that we glued together, and we made the photo in a flower shop that was really next to my place in Paris. And every day I was passing by the shop by bike, and I really loved the shop because it was really authentic and nice. There is lots of flowers and colors. And I asked the girl that were working there if we could make a photo shoot there. and she really liked the project. Just showed her like some picture of the masks. They weren't finished at all, but tried to explain her the vision we had, and she really liked the project. So she helped us put all the flowers together, and that's basically it.
No, I'm sure they're happy when the album comes out, because that's like promotion for them as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And the name, An Endless Feast for Hyenas, what inspired that album title? Because it's a pretty interesting album title. Does it have like a special meaning for the band?
Not especially. We talked together a lot to find a name, and we want to have something that will maybe sum up all the themes that we talk about during the songs. And we thought that we really liked the song called Endless Night from the Graveyard, and we thought that the name Endless was kind of sounded nice, and we try to think about something around this name, this word, and we came up with this.
No, it turned out great. And so, since I'm not from France, I'm really curious, how is the psychedelic rock scene in France?
Yeah, it's a pretty big, pretty nice. It's a big family. Like we have like as I said, we started in Nantes, and then we moved to Paris, and we toured a bit like around Nantes, and of course around Paris and in France. So we met lots of bands, and I'm really stoked about the scene, because in like the last 5 or 10 years, we saw lots of really good bands that are also really nice people, and it's really a good and a nice family. Yes. So we made lots of friends, and everybody is really motivated about like as well, like playing in a band, and also promote shows, try to make things happen in France. So yeah, I'm really about like being in this period in France.
Yeah, no, yeah. I listened to a few French bands. Obviously, their Gojira is like very well huge, but I didn't know about this type of style that you guys play. But yeah, no, I think France, because there's a lot of countries that are well known for music, but I think France is kind of underrated. Like there's a lot of great bands coming out from France that people don't talk about. And obviously, I just discovered your band like a few weeks ago when I saw the promo for the band, and I'm like, that looks interesting. And I listened to it, and I'm like, yeah, I really like this. It's really a style that I think that a lot of people don't play nowadays. And so when you're not playing music or doing anything like this, or recording, what are your main hobbies besides music?
Yeah, well, for my part, I'm into photography a bit. So I make some photos, and I develop also them in a lab. I got my photo lab next door. I'm also into like skateboarding, snowboarding a bit, and we are also product designer. So I also help some band's friends to make like logos, for example, some help for artworks a bit here and there. So I'm into also like graphic design a bit.
Yeah, plus you design the things for your own band. So out of the new album, I don't think we discussed like what is your favorite song of the new album, or the song that you think that best defines you guys as a band.
Well, I will talk for my part, of course.
Yeah, for your part, because
I really like Skeleton Void, as we talked about previously, and also liked let's say, it's hard for me to
it's like picking a child or a baby.
Also Override, it's a song that we didn't put out yet, but it's also really like groovy and kind of like fast song. I really like it, because I have songs that I really like to play, and also have songs that I like to listen to. So Skeleton Void is really nice to play, because it's like a bit groovy and up tempo, a bit fast. And I also like override to play, because it's really like when I play drums, I try to either fill in the blank that the guys will leave for me, or try to play the same melody as the guitar or the bass. So I'm really constantly playing between those two elements, you know.
Okay. So I know that the album's coming out April 5th. So what are the future plans? Are you having like a album release party? Any shows planned soon?
Well, we were supposed to tour with a Russian band, but they cannot come to Europe, obviously. So we had to cancel all the shows, and we are trying to put like some shows together during for the summer, and we're trying to plan also a European tour for next October or December, around that period of time. But it's a bit hard to find gigs in Europe now, because like obviously because of the COVID, it's like a bit like everybody wants to tour and it's a big packed. So you have to schedule your tour like something like maybe less than a year before touring. So it's like really hard. So I think pretty sure we're gonna tour in France, because we know like lots of friends and we have some contacts, but we really also want to tour Europe and choose to meet some new friends, you know.
No, of course. Well, like I said, I really enjoyed the album, and I think you know it's an album that now these days it feels like something different to listen to. So I want to thank you for taking some time to talk with me today. And for everyone, the new album is coming out April 5th. Where can they pre-order the album if they're interested, you know, for physical copies?
Well, you can pre-order the album at heavypsych record website, and all the info are there, so you can pre-order there directly.
Will you have this on vinyl, because this music is meant for vinyl?
Vinyl, and you're gonna have 3 colors vinyl. So one will be black, the one will be red, and the last one is like a limited edition. It's like splatter, so it's transparent, pink, I think yellow and black.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna check that out so I can buy a copy myself, because it's meant for vinyl. So again, Geoffrey, it was great meeting you. Hope that the band has success. So now you guys know an Endless Feast for Hyenas is out April 5th, and the band is called Decasia, sorry. So check that out. So until next time, this is Hector, the Shield doing a couch, and I'll see you next time right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.